magistrate reached a verdict. I have guilty or innocent. Spare me this mockery of justice.
That's dark.
Yeah. Yeah. Welcome to the Extinction Agenda, the most aptly named podcast on the internet.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. I would say we predicted this, but
yeah, by like our own extinction.
Yeah. That's dark. I was what was I? Shit, there was something else. God damn it. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about Goku. I wanted to talk about in another episode that people won't have heard by now. We did a Dragon Ball Super episode, and I saw the explanation with Zamasu taking, spoilers, Zamasu taking over Goku's body and all that stuff. And I would have really liked an opportunity to talk about Zamasu's he's the sinister homosexual, like he also is that role as well.
Oh.
Well, no, because he obviously he you want a taste of this power, and he's like sort of, there's like a sexual flirtation. Like he was defeated by Goku, and then his response to that is to want to penetrate him and to take possession of him and to take over his body and be inside of him. And then to once having gained Goku's body in this really symbolic way, to team up with himself in the perfect union of revenge. It's got these.
It's true, and they did make a tiny cabin in the woods, like a peaceful getaway for a gay romance with his own Goku self.
Yeah,
to make ultimate peace in the universe by eradicating everyone except for
him and him,
Super Saiyan Rose.
Okay, well then, yeah, I feel. Wow, I didn't even know that was going to happen, but okay. So yeah, that's something that jumped out to me after I watched that fifth episode that you gave me. I realized that the psychodrama was even more psycho.
I think that Dragon Ball, though, in terms of having overtly homosexual characters and stuff, it's very out there and forward, because Beerus, the Destroyer God, and his partner Whis, who's supposed to be his trainer, and they have he's a god, and they have another worldly relationship, but they're in no uncertain terms. They're sort of partners that reside together, and it's fairly, Lord Beerus is the butch,
Yeah, I think it's coded. It's not explicit.
Oh yeah, you're right. But I mean, I think it's pretty loose, and it's
all I got to say to any, sorry for this, but anyone who tells me that Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball is progressive in any sense has to reckon with Mr. Popo. And if you can
Does Mr. Popo make an appearance in this? I want to see.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think so. No, maybe they realized that they were playing with blackface, and they
realized that they had to back down on Mr. Popo.
Yeah, maybe much less vital to their schemes. Because I could see a place for Mr. Popo in this new storyline, but strangely, he didn't carried over. No.
Yajirobe, he came back, but
yeah. Still fat shaming. That's good.
So fucking lazy. Okay. Yeah, actually, in my ideas for this evening, I was going to bring back the age-old debate: so-and-so versus so-and-so.
Oh shit, that's great. Let's do that.
On my so-and-so versus so-and-so list, ironically enough, was Goku versus Superman.
Oh, and that actually popped to mind the last time we were chatting, when we were talking about Goku's qualities. I'm going to give it to Goku. over Superman. Like, I think that well, Superman's just like a really tough guy, you know, like he doesn't go into the universe. Let's say Superman beat Goku in the first fight. Goku's not going to stand for that. He's going to good-naturedly power up, reach a new level, and fucking
Right.
destroy you.
Superman
And
wouldn't kill him because that's not what Superman does.
yeah,
Any type of defeat would just raise Goku's power level on account of the Saiyanness. And
yeah.
then
Well, and
Superman would,
even the Goku-ness.
yeah, he would train harder. That's it.
Mm.
That's kind of his. Also,
Yeah.
the new if we were taking into account Dragon Ball Super,
Yeah.
divine energy, like cosmic energy, I guess, is maybe like a cut above Superman sort of fight, you know?
It feels that way. Like he's explicitly out there fighting gods, like the keepers of entire dimensions and shit like that. But even prior to this, like let's go back to the Cell Saga or something like that. I'm still gonna pick Goku. He's the purer character. In a lot of ways, I wish that people wrote Superman like Goku. Maybe not as dumb, but like that good-natured openness, that kindness, but also like readiness to sacrifice. That's Superman.
I think in this new age of, what sells is I don't whatever, let's go to the Dark Knight trilogy. Let's go to this new Joker movie. Let's blame it on everything. But like that dark attitude, that like sully kind of whatever brooding kind of shit, that's what sells. So that's what everybody latched on to for the last like decade. But like really, like in a real, not a real, obviously this is nerd conversation, but like Superman himself really can't be affected by much. Like he's never in any danger. People around him really aren't in any danger. He really should be a lot lighter feeling. Like Goku. Like Goku doesn't have a fucking care in the world. What's gonna happen to him? He's fucking indestructible.
Yeah. Although he had that,
and he exudes that, and you should feel that, even when he's vulnerable, he should feel loose, like happier. You would, I feel like, if you were that powerful.
Yeah, and I think Morrison tried to convey exactly that.
I think he succeeded in the All-Star Superman. Yeah.
Yeah. But unfortunately he did that. But that Superman was facing his demise, like throughout the whole series. He knew that he was going to die, and that necessarily, like, so is lighthearted and he was the character that we wanted, but at the same time he was struggling with the fact that he was going to die. So you didn't get the full, I don't know, Goku.
Yeah, he was like trying to wrap up loose ends. He wasn't just sort of like experiencing, like we weren't experiencing like an adventure with someone with a jovial attitude,
Yeah.
Even though we sort of were, but
yeah. So we got glimpses of it, let's say. Yeah. So anyway, I'm assuming you come out, you agree?
I would agree with that. Yeah. I'd give it to you. I just think that's the only person you could do a versus with, really. Who else would you choose?
Well, you could pick all sorts of like stupid, like Hulk versus Superman, and you could go down.
I mean, Goku though. Who are you gonna versus Goku?
Oh yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like that's the thing about Dragon Ball. Like it really, that's another one of its appeals. Like when you go there, you're going somewhere where like people who can destroy planets are going to martial arts fight one another. Like that's wild. Yeah, like you don't get that anywhere else.
It's true. Yeah. And I think it's funny too. This came up in the Conan debate, where like you didn't like that Conan was unstoppable, and that they told the story around that kind of. Right. But the Goku is like that. The stories surround a character who will never lose. So like
So
they have to, the stories have to exist in kind of a weird way, you know?
yeah, I think that my criticism of that Conan story remains valid, and the Goku example isn't, because for instance, I was just reading, prior to the plague hitting, I went over to my library and just grabbed a bunch of books. I should have grabbed more. That would have been wiser. But anyway, what if I grabbed Dragon Ball by Akira uh, Tokiyama?
Yeah.
Is that his
I
last
think
name?
so.
Yeah. And anyway, the original comics, and so I'm reading the Frieza saga, and Goku's fighting against Captain Ginyu, and he's going to beat Captain Ginyu, and then but secretly Captain Ginyu has the power to steal bodies. So actually, we got evil Goku even back then. But prior to stealing Goku's body, he punches himself in the chest and kind of like pretty much really badly damages his body before stealing Goku's body and like switching them around. And so Goku's trapped in an injured, inferior body to try to defeat himself. And through that entire little adventure, it's all Goku being wise. Like it's all Goku making smart decisions in the moment. Like later on, he's going to trick Captain Ginyu into inhabiting a frog, and that's how he finally defeats him.
That's right. I remember that.
Yeah. So
But I find that that's the funny thing about Goku, though, too, is that he makes wise decisions regarding combat.
yeah.
Like
We touched on that a
he's
little
an
bit.
experienced and adaptable fighter. He's
Mhm.
the greatest and most experienced and adaptable fighter, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is again, why he comes out. Really, I'm gonna say like in all of these contexts, no matter who you choose, like Galactus versus Goku, I'm going with Goku. He's the best when it comes to fighting.
Yeah, I think one of the only times that there was like, well, no, there's never really been like a clear and present danger. Maybe Frieza, because Frieza, and I think that's why Frieza is still like a favorite villain, is that he had full intention of sacrificing a planet and all of its inhabitants and all of his soldiers in order to kill Goku. Like he wanted Goku dead, like dead. No ifs, ands, or buts. Didn't really care what he had to do to win the fight, and I feel like that made him dangerous. Sometimes he fights other people that have like a softer conscience, and I just don't feel the same edge, because they want to see what he's capable of, and they let him power up, kind of, and they toy with him, and like Frieza never really had all that intention, that he hated him.
I think also the one of the reasons that Frieza is so well remembered is like especially of fans of the original series is because when Dragon Ball Z.
Gay?
Well, yeah. Well, I didn't want to go there immediately. Yeah, but he's also coded as a villainous homosexual, and fans of Dragon Ball Z, like they really latch onto that. He was slowly built up. Like remember, like Vegeta shows up, and who's he working for? Frieza. But we've never met Frieza. But if Vegeta's so powerful, and so on and so forth, Broly or not Broly, fuck, I don't know. Some other people show up before Vegeta. And anyway, eventually, like it's a build up
and stuff, right?
Yeah,
Nappa,
and then it's right, yeah. So anyway, and then
it's
during
a build
that,
up to reveal him, and then he's in like a chair.
I don't remember the actual, but probably, yeah.
Yeah, he was in a chair, and he didn't even leave the chair.
Right.
He killed a couple people from sitting in the chair, and then he never, like, everything about him was like very slowly revealed. And then it was like, oh, he's pissed now. He's gonna get out of the chair to fight. And then you're like, oh fuck. Like he killed a couple people from in the chair. I mean, how strong is he gonna be when he fights? And then he like changed forms a couple times. And anyway.
Yeah, no, and he beat the shit out of everyone who came at him, and he was genuinely presented for a long time as the guy to beat, which I think like Dragon Ball Z could have ended after the Frieza saga. I think that Akira Toriyama, he, like he had a moneymaker. Like I don't want to impugn the guy, but I think like it's clearly gone on for too long. Like it's practically The Simpsons as far as like.
That's kind of true.
And I think like a natural endpoint could have been the end of the Frieza saga. Goku, he becomes a Super Saiyan, which is something the series has been going on about that whole time. It's just a fulfillment of everything.
Like the Super Saiyan was the mythical form of the Saiyan, and now we've like blown that out of the water. Got seven different. You didn't even get to see him kind of warm up his fights with Lord Beerus, where he showed off Super Saiyan 2, then he showed off Super Saiyan 3, and everyone got all randy. And then Lord Beerus pushed him into, he had to do like a merger with other Saiyans, and they pushed him into Super Saiyan God, which is actually like a red hair, which you don't actually see until the Tournament of Power. And then they pushed him from that to Super Saiyan Blue, and oh man, it got a little out of hand.
Yeah, it's totally, but it doesn't really matter. Like they can just keep going, and
no, every time he powers up, no matter what happens, I get pumped. Yeah,
for sure. I don't care what you call it. Just like we just want the power up. We like watching.
I just want to see. We liked watching Chi-Chi get fridged and Goku hit another power level.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z, good stuff.
Yeah.
Now all we need is a little energon and a lot of luck.